Answers of the question number 3. Right. Now shall we move to the third question? So here you can see the third question. Nimali asks 4 packets of sugar which weight 1 kilogram each and 3 cake of chalk. When the salesman told that they cost 575 rupees, she left 1 packet of sugar and 1 cake of chalk. Then package cost only 420 rupees. Now assuming that cost of 1 packet of sugar as X rupees and a cake cost of 1 cake of chalk as Y rupees, construct pair of simultaneous equation. So using this pair of simultaneous equation, you have to find the price of a cake of chalk and a packet of sugar. Now this is a simultaneous equation question. So what you have to do is, first you have to construct a pair of simultaneous equation. Then using those, you have to find the two unknowns. So when you go to the solution, right, here they have given to take the price of packet of sugar and also price of 1 cake of chalk. So you have to take that as algebraic symbols, right? So taking those two value, you have to construct pair of simultaneous equation, right? We'll see. So one is given that cost of 1 packet of sugar is X rupees. So keep in mind, cost of 1 packet of sugar now we consider as X rupees. Another one they have given is 1 cake of chalk. Cost of 1 cake of chalk is Y rupees. So that is what they have given, right? Now want to construct a pair of simultaneous equations. So that is the main point. Now you read in the two sentences here, you can construct a pair of simultaneous equation, right? So very carefully read the first sentence, right? So what is the first sentence say? Nimali asks 4 packets of sugar and 3 cake of chalk, right? So then salesman told that is cost 575 rupees. Now we have to construct a equation, right? An equation. So here they have given 1 packet of sugar is X rupees. So here she asked 4 packets of sugar, right? So using this X symbol, you have to write what is the price of 4 packets of sugar, right? So 1 packet of sugar is X mean 4 packet of sugar is 4X, right? So same way write the price of 3 cake of chalk, right? So here we have taken 1 cake of chalk is Y rupees. 1 cake of chalk is Y rupees. Then we have to write 3 cakes of chalk, right? Price of 3 cakes of chalk. So 1 is y rupees mean 3 cake of shop is 3y, right? Now, so price of those two, salesman told that is 575 rupees. Now you have to build up an equation, right? So if you add those two, right, 4 packets of sugar and 3 cake of shop, if you add, you get the total price, right? So they have given total price of 4 packets of sugar and 3 cake of shop is what is 575 rupees. So that means this amount is equal to 575 rupees. So that is the first equation, right? So very easy. So you know, in the pair of simultaneous equations, we name these equations by number or letter. So I'll name this one as equation 1, right? Now move to the second equation, right? So be careful here what I have given. So when the salesman told that they cost 575 rupees, she left 1 packet of sugar and 1 cake of shop, right? So maybe she hasn't got enough money to pay, right? So what is 4 packets of sugar and 3 cake of shop, 575 rupees, she left 1 packet. So that means actually she bought how many packets of sugar? 1 left. That means 3 packets of sugar. So here 1 packet of sugar is x rupees mean 3 packets of sugar is 3x. And also 3 cake of shops, salesman told that, then what Nimali did, she left 1 cake of shop, right? So that means actually she bought only 2 packets of shop, 2 cake of shop. So that means here is 3 packet of sugar and 2 cake of shop. What is the total amount? How to get total amount? You have to add those two, right? So addition of those two is total price of, so that is the total price of 3 packets of sugar and 2 cake of chops. So that one, that package is cost only 420 rupees. So what does that mean? So this total amount is equal to what? 420 rupees. So that is another equation. Understand? So now we have built up 2 equations. So this one you have to name as equation 2, right? So now we build up a pair of simultaneous equation. Now we have to solve, right? So when solving this one, right, so when solving these two, you know, in a pair of simultaneous equations, here there are 2 unknowns. What are the unknowns? One unknown is x and other unknown is y, right? So first one you have to do is you have to remove one unknown from these 2 equations, right? You have to remove one unknown, x unknown or y unknown, you have to remove, right? So how to remove, right? So how to remove mean you can add those 2 equations or you can subtract one equation from the other, right? So here you can see here x unknown, here 4x, right, here 3x. So what happen if you add? This is also positive 4x, this is also positive 3x, right? So that means if you add, x is not removed, right? And also, so if you go to the subtraction part, x unknown, here 4x, if you subtract 3x, then remain 1x. So that means if the number in front of the unknown of x is 4, here number in front of the x is 3, so that is we call coefficient. So without equaling this coefficient, we can't remove adding or subtracting this one unknown. So here same as 4y, y here 3y, 2y, right? So coefficient of y is 3, here 2, so those are not equal, right? So not equal in those, you can't remove. Now next step is what you have to do. So make x or y equal, right? Coefficient of x or y equal. So in this sum I am going to do this way. So what is my method is, so I like to remove the y unknown, right? I like to remove y unknown. So I should do, what you have to do is should equal the coefficient of y, right? So here you can see the coefficient of y is 3, here coefficient of y is 2, right? So if I equal these two coefficient of y, so you have to find actually the LCM of 3 and 2, right? So here you can understand 3 is a prime number, 2 is a prime number. That means if you find the LCM of 3 and 2, actually you get 6, right? So that means LCM of 3y and 2y, so that is equal to 6y, right? So that is the equaling coefficient, right? So now what I'm going to do is equal coefficient of y, right? So that means I should equal this 3y and 2y into 6y, right? So that one you have to decide first. So then what I am going to do is, so to here make 6y, I should select a number. What is the number I should multiply, right, to make 6y, right? So then also same as this one, right? Now the equaling term is 6y, right? Positive 6y. Now I multiply the first equation, right, to make here 6y. You can understand here you should multiply this 3y by 2, right? So if you multiply by 2, what happened? 3y into 2, that is 6y. So that is the equaling coefficient. Now first equation I should multiply by 2, right? So multiplying equation by a number mean, so each term you have to multiply by that number, right? So here how many terms in the first equation? 4x is one term, 3y is another term, 575 is another term, right? So this each term should multiply by that number, right? So I select number is 2, right? So that means the equation 1 should multiply by 2, right? Then I get, you can see here the 4x should multiply by 2, right? So directly I multiply and write, right? So otherwise it may long steps, right? It may get long steps. So therefore I will multiply this 4x by 2, right? 4x into 2 is 8x, right? Then plus 3y multiplied by 2 also, that is 3y into 2, that is 6y. Then that is equal to 575 also should multiply by 2, right? So you can calculate in the separate paper. So 575 also multiplied by 2 means that is 1150. So this is my new equation, right? So new equation, I have to use another letter. So I this name as this new equation as equation 3, right? Because I changed this first equation. Right, now equaling coefficient, or remember this one, right? Don't forget that one. Then I'm going to make here 2y into 6y. So what is the number I should multiply by 2y to make 6y? That is number 3, right? So by 3 you have to multiply 3x and also 2y and also 420. Each term multiply by 3, right? So second equation should multiply by 3, right? So I write what happened, 3x multiplied by 2, right? 3x multiplied by 3, sorry, 3x multiplied by 3, right? So 3x into 3 is, you get 9x, then plus here, then 2y multiplied by 3, 2y into 3, that is 6y, right? Then equal 420 also should multiply by 3, right? So that is 1260. So this is my new equation. So this is not second equation, right? Second equation is this one. So I name this equation as equation number 4, right? Now I get new two equations, that is named as third equation and fourth equation. Right, now you can see here what happened. Here coefficient of y is 6, right? Positive 6, and also coefficient of this equation y is positive 6y. Now you can see here the y terms, right? In equation 3 and equation 4, y terms are equal, right? So now I can decide whether those two add or subtract. Okay? So think, if you add those two, what happened? Positive 6y. If you add another positive 6y, that become positive 12y, right? So what I want to do is, I want to remove this y term, right? So to remove this y term, what you have to do is, I should subtract these two, right? So when you subtract these two, I can remove, right? So same sign means both have same sign, I have to subtract, right? So subtract mean from the third equation I can subtract fourth equation, or from the fourth equation I can subtract the third equation. So anyway I can remove the y term, right? So considering the other term, you have to decide whether you subtract from third one from the fourth one, or fourth one from the third one, right? So let's see here 9x, here 8x, right? So what happen if you subtract third equation from the fourth equation, right? So you get positive number, right? So if you subtract third equation from the first equation, you get positive number. In other way you do, if you subtract fourth equation from the third equation, you get 8x minus 9x, that is negative number, right? So better to subtract greater number, right, and the less number from the greater number, right? So that one you have to decide. So and also if you check the right side also, you can see here 1260 is greater, 1150 is less. So therefore you can subtract 1150 from the 1260, right? So I'll decide here how to subtract. From the fourth equation I am going to subtract third equation, right? So if you subtract third equation from the fourth one, right? Here I write, then you can get. So I'll write step by step. So when subtracting equation, you have to be careful whether what is subtract, right? Now subtracting, the fourth equation has two parts, right? From the equal sign you get left hand side and right hand side. So when subtracting equation, you have to subtract left side of the equation and the left side of the other equation, and also right side from the right side. So that is the method. So then I'm going to subtract fourth equations, that is 9x plus 6y. Now we have to subtract third equation, right? So now you can see here, third equation left side has 8x 6y. There are two terms, so subtracting two terms, you have to use bracket, right? So that is a better method. So because when subtracting two terms, if you write directly, maybe sign wrong, right? So therefore be careful and write within bracket. So subtract, what is, use bracket, then 8x, then plus, then 6y, right? Then close the bracket. So that is the left hand side of the two equations, right? Then I'm going to right side is equal, so I subtract third one from the fourth equation. So here fourth equation 1260, you have to subtract 1150, right? Now next step, what is here to do, here I use bracket, right? So that means you have to multiply these two terms 8x and 6y by this negative sign, right? So here 9x and 6y, so you can write that one, 9x plus 6y, right? So then by the negative sign you have to multiply. What is the sign of this 8x? No sign means that is positive, right? So that means negative should multiply by this positive sign multiply. Two different sign means negative into positive, that is also negative, right? So term is 8x. Then again another term, that is 6y. What is sign is in front of the number, so that is 6y, that should multiply by this negative sign. So what happened, negative should multiply by positive, different sign, again you get negative, that is also 6y, right? So then this is how, if you remove the bracket, so then equal, what happened to right side, you can subtract these two numbers, then you get 110. Then simplify the left hand side of this equation. So now you can see here, this is positive 6y, right? Then here negative 6y. So what happened in the expression like this, same 6y, one is positive, another is negative. That means those two cancel out, right? Those two cancel.